Today's video is about Arsenal and the chances to win the Premier League. I know I didn't do a reaction to it. Arsenal did very well to beat Man City. And so, for me, that goes to show that Arsenal have finally broken that one thing that you could say was mentally holding them back in terms of winning a Premier League title. They know they can beat a lot of teams. They know they can beat a lot of teams well. But the one thing was that Manchester City, who are the best team in the world, were always getting the best of them. Even before Arteta was there. When Wenger was there, when Emery was there, even Freddie Ljungberg. 12 consecutive wins is crazy. And for players who were part of maybe the last 6-7 defeats, that's going to play on their head, you know? So for me, I don't know about you guys, but Arsenal, can they win the league? Yes. Will they win the league? I need to see a little bit more because I haven't watched Arsenal as much. But from what I've seen and what I've heard, yes, attacking-wise, they can be good. But in terms of the midfield, the balance isn't quite there. I haven't seen that for myself properly because I haven't watched Arsenal enough. But from what I've heard, people are saying that, Xhaka's not there and the midfield balance isn't really quite right. Although, again, if that's the case, that can improve with more matches, more fine-tuning of the tactics and the balance of the midfield. So, I do think Arsenal can win the league for sure, especially based on last year. Although last year I thought if they don't win the league now, they're not going to win it next year because they'll have a dip. And they've had a dip. Don't get twisted. But I don't think it's to the extent where they're going to be battling for top 4 again. I think Arteta's got them in a place where they are able to challenge for the title. Looking at the stats, Arsenal dominated City based on the shots and chances created and shots on target and whatever. It was a lucky goal. It is a lucky goal. It's a big deflection from Martinelli's shot onto Ake's head. But they did well to limit Manchester City and to not bottle it or to even come away with a 0-0 draw. So that just tells you, without Saka, these guys now know that they can beat the best team in the league and best team in the world. Yes, City didn't have Rodri. Yes, they didn't have De Bruyne. But this team is good enough to win the league. That team alone, without De Bruyne, without Rodri, is good enough. That's factors. Because they won the league without a striker. The one with the false nine of Jesus and Foden and stuff, and they won in 2021, where they won with the false nine. So this team is good enough to win the league, and you have to credit Arsenal for beating that team without Saka. So that's a serious achievement. Again, it's going to be a very good boost mentally for the Arsenal players, for Arteta, knowing that he can beat Manchester City without their best player. And again, Rice, he's been doing well so far this season, but I need to get onto the but within the however, which is Eddie Nketiah. You cannot be a serious title contender with Eddie Nketiah as your main striker. You cannot be. You cannot. Yes, Jesus can be or is your striker in a way, but he's not a volume goal scorer. Yeah, I said it in my video last year where Jesus signed for Arsenal. He's not a volume goal scorer. He's not going to lead you to a league title. Yes, he will help you with your style of play, pressing, linking up with the midfield, opening avenues for other players. Yeah, he can do that. He can finish a little bit as well, but he's not a volume goal scorer. Arsenal need a volume goal scorer to even win the league. Can they win the league? Yes, they can. They could. But once Haaland is back firing up, once Rodri is back, once De Bruyne is back, and then once the Man City post-January period kicks in, City are going to be almost unstoppable. So they need to be able to get struck in January, whether that's Ivan Toney or someone else. They need to be able to get someone in that can score goals. Ivan Toney seems to be the most obvious option, and Arsenal have been courting him for a while. Obviously, he's had that betting ban, and so he's not going to be 100%, let's say, up to speed. But he's had a behind the doors friendly, and he scored. But that's not a very competitive match. That's not Premier League level. That's not FA Cup level. That's not whatever level. That's not top tier level. So he needs to have time to get back up to speed. But Ivan Toney can lead, at least short term, Arsenal to a Premier League title if Arsenal do not end up bottling and they do not end up having major injuries for a long period of time. Yes, they beat City without Saka, and it is a mental boost. However, Saka is still a vital piece of Arsenal's squad and Arsenal's starting 11 to be able to do stuff in the Champions League or the Premier League to win trophies. That's facts. Long term, it's not sustainable for Arsenal to win matches without Saka. It's not. So that is going to be a very important factor in terms of Arsenal's title challenge. Now, if I look at the league table, Tottenham and Arsenal are joint first, joint top. Same amount of goal difference, and Arsenal scored 2 fewer goals but conceded 2 fewer goals. So yeah, it's really tight. It's really tight at the top of the table. North London is ruling things right now. But Tottenham will drop off. That's facts. Tottenham will drop off. Arsenal, as I suspect, will sustain a title challenge. City will obviously be back. They've lost 2 matches in a row in the league, 3 matches in all competitions, but they'll be back. Liverpool, I think they'll be there or thereabouts, but they're just not ready yet. So it's going to be tighter than last year, I think. City will still win the league. In terms of realistic options, City will still win the league. However, Arsenal can for sure win the league. It just depends on whether they get a volume goal scorer, such as an Ivan Toney, and if Ivan Toney can actually continue and hit the ground running, or whether injuries can have an impact. Haaland has been gutter trash for the past 4 or 5 matches. He's been trash. So Arsenal, and you could say Liverpool, need to capitalize on that. They really do, because we cannot have Pep and Man City winning 4 in a row or even another treble. We cannot have that. Even if they beat Newcastle, then they would have been on for a quadruple. Yeah, we cannot have that. We actually cannot have that. So hopefully, for the sake of football in England, Arsenal will break their 20-year celibacy from the Premier League title. And let me know what you guys think. Do you think Arsenal can and will win the league? Do you think City will have their usual post-January pick up in form and just go undefeated? Do you think Liverpool can say what's up to Manchester City? And yeah, that's my take on the title race and on Arsenal specifically, because people like to make fun of Arsenal, AFTV, things like that. But Arteta's doing a really good job. He's doing a really good job with how he's transformed Arsenal. That project is working. The process is working. Whether they win the league this year remains to be seen. We need to see more. However, Arsenal are on the right track for sure. They should have won it last season, but they bottled it. They should have got top 4 the season before and they bottled it. So we'll see if those 2 instances of bottling has made these guys mentally tougher. And even this win, with the boost that it should provide the players, we'll see if that helps them in the long term over the course of this season. So yeah, please like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Goodbye.